Welcome, everybody, to the Quick Count with you boys from the 10 Count Podcast, Type P, J-Star, brought to you by Bodyslam.net. And I guess the conversation and the question around the world right now is, what do you want to talk about? Because Cody Rhodes has become a 3-time WWE Undisputed Champion. I mean, I felt this in my bones. I kind of knew this was going to happen, especially the way it's kind of going down. And especially how they probably want Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and that is what we are getting. I know we are still a little bit away. Next week's apparently a contract signing. People are still hoping for a fatal four-way or a triple threat of some sort. But Justin, how are you feeling post SmackDown?
It's kind of what we expected, right? Once we saw that Cody and Drew were locking up one-on-one on Friday Night SmackDown, Drew kind of dug himself into this mess by constantly interfering in all of Cody Rhodes' matches, screwing Cody left and right. You got the Rumble, you got the Elimination Chamber. He tried to do it during the Chamber qualifier. It caught up with him. And unfortunately, we discussed it last week and we kind of just spoke through it. And this was probably the most logical outcome. Yeah. After seeing what they were doing, we know ticket sales for Mania are not there right now. And truthfully, when you look at it, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, or the history and the story that you already have with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. And they went the route that we thought they were going to go. So now we're going to have Cody and Randy. The graphic is official. They made the graphic and everything. So now you know it's not going to a triple threat or a fatal four-way. So it's going to be Cody and Randy. And then you're probably going to end up with Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. And that's just another big match that you get to add to for WrestleMania, try to sell some more tickets. But A lot of people aren't happy. A lot of people are happy. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, and it's funny enough. So my methods of trying to watch SmackDown did not work. So I was on FaceTime with Court during the main event to watch it. I kind of called when Jacob Fatu was going to come out and get involved with the steel chair. He didn't do more than that, which, once that happened and he didn't do more than just take the chair, I knew Cody was going to win. And yeah, I think the IWC is angry. I think a lot of the IWC doesn't want this to happen. They don't want Cody as champion again. I don't think he'll be champion for long, if that's kind of alluding to how I think WrestleMania is going to go. But at the end of the day, the crowd was electric for him, man. I mean, they popped for him when he won. They were doing the whoa and cheering for him when he came out. He did the post-show kind of promo where he was getting emotional and the crowd cheered for him. So, I mean, honestly, I think ticket sales are probably going to go up a little bit. I think people want Cody Rhodes, especially that are going to the venues, want him as the champion. They want him for the champion for their kids also, for probably the most part. And it's a way to get kids to want to go to WrestleMania to see Cody Rhodes defend the Undisputed WWE Championship against, a longtime rival, a longtime friend, a mentor in Randy Orton.
I get all that. But don't we think, let me ask you a question here. If Cody did not win this main event, right? Don't you think Cody would still be in the main event fighting for the Undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania Night 1?
Yeah, I think it would depend. I think at that point, if someone got involved, they could have went the angle of Jacob Fatu screwing Cody over again. Or Randy Orton, said he still has to get his pound of flesh with Drew McIntyre. If Randy Orton got involved, or if there was some way that Cody was screwed, then yes. But if it was been in a clean pin on Drew to Cody, then I don't think so. I think they would have had to find a way to get Cody involved into Mania. But I think at the end of the day, I think this was the direction they were always going. It was always going to be Cody, and it was always going to be him defending the championship. And I think that route was always going to be Randy Orton.
Yeah, and just because I bring that up, because regardless of what the outcome was, Cody was going to find himself in the main event at WrestleMania Night 1 in either a fatal 4-way or fighting, defending the Undisputed WWE Championship. They were not having Cody not in that main event. So, I'm going to go after, the people that are saying about the ticket sales that I bring up. Cody was no matter what going to be in that main event. So now that he's going in as champion and now it's a one-on-one versus Randy Orton, is that really going to sell more tickets rather than Cody going in looking for that championship against a reigning Drew McIntyre plus probably Jacob Fatu plus Randy Orton? So I just don't know if the ticket sales are actually going to start selling more because now we have Cody walking in as champion. Yeah. That's not equating to me. So that's why I kind of brought that up.
So I think it comes down to, and I just want to give a shout out to Matt on YouTube with the Let's Go on the Sunday night. Thank you for tuning in, Matt, as always. And thank you for all your voicemails you send to us. We always appreciate it. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how this leads up to WrestleMania, the route they decide to take for this Cody Randy match. And I think you need to turn someone heel. I think we talked about this on Wednesday. If they don't turn someone heel, and this is just a face-face friendly bout, that's not going to sell tickets. That's going to be a way for people not to really care that much. Yeah, sure. Great. It's a Randy Cody match. We saw that already when it came down to the King of the Ring finals. Right. I think that was the match at King of the Ring finals, Randy Cody. So they need to turn someone heel. And I know Courtney would kill me for this. She's already yelled at me when she's saying Cody doesn't need to turn heel. But I would enjoy a Cody heel. And honestly, I would enjoy seeing Randy heel. So to me, I don't really care who turns heel, but someone does need to make that switch. I would love to see Cody go because I think it'd be a fresh take because we've seen, a face Cody when he was younger against the heel Randy Orton. We've seen it in the Legacy when they were heel. So I would love to see the roles reversed. I think it would be a fun way for them to go into this feud. We saw it with John Cena and Randy Orton. I'd love to see the roles reversed with Cody and Randy.
So you pretty much just hit it right on the head. Let's go back to last year, right? Night 1, we had the triple threat, right? No title on the line, but it was a triple threat with obviously Roman, you had Seth, and you had Punk. The whole where's Paul Heyman's allegiance, that was a whole question. Night 1, didn't need a title in the match, but it had the angle. Like everyone was stunned at the end of night one because Paul Heyman turned on both Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and the vision was created, right? Night two, you had just the singles match. You had Cody and John Cena. That was for the title. I feel like they're going the same route, right? This year, you have night two, you have the title on the line, Roman, Punk. You don't need anything else. Night one now, you have Cody, you have Randy. Like you said, they're both faces. This is the opportunity for that angle to play in. This is the opportunity for, like you just said, one of them to turn heel. Now, which one is it going to be? Is it going to be Cody turning heel with a low blow or a chair shot when the ref's not looking, and that's the heel move? Or do we get a punt to the head and vicious Randy Orton's back? Like, what would you prefer? Because to me, I've seen a heel Randy Orton. He's awesome. You said, I think heel Orton's your favorite Orton, but do we want to see that again, or do we want to finally see heel Cody?
Like I said, I will enjoy both. I think I would rather, just by a tiny bit, would see Cody heel, but again, it wouldn't make that much a difference. And the way I would like to see it, and before I continue, Stussy6 on the YouTube tuning in as always. How's it going? It's going well. We are talking about the new undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes and the future night one main event title match between Randy and Cody. But I would love to see Friday night contract signing end with a turn. That's how I want it to go. I don't want to wait for the Mania match for someone to turn heel. I want this to happen now. We have a little over 4 weeks till Mania, so we need that story. We need that rivalry. We need that anger. We need that violence. That, we were talking about the promos last week about the things we used to love, and you would see all these promos where Austin was bleeding and beating on Vince, or The Rock was bleeding, and I don't know, everyone was bleeding, beating each other up, and it was the good old days. It was fun, so I want that. I want that angle. Stussy6 on YouTube. If the plan was always for Drew to lose it back to Cody, I wish he had defended inside the Chamber and lost, since we barely see Chamber title matches anymore. I completely agree, because I think the last one was the U.S. title when Austin Theory retained it. I think that was the last time we saw a title defended in the EC, but I agree. I think that would have been awesome to have Drew defend it that way, and then we could have had this lead up, and I don't know how you would have kind of put Orton in the shoes to be the contender at that point, but they could have figured it out. And Celesty6 on YouTube, remember the chaos of 2009 and 2010 when Edge and Jericho walked away from EC? Yeah, with the titles. I know. That's what I missed. That's what I missed about the Elimination Chamber, was it always kind of defined a champion back then. And now it's just like, it's another Royal Rumble. It's another number one contender. And when that happens, it feels like they kind of stick themselves in a corner with a one-on-one match. Because if I win Elimination Chamber that's designed to make me the number one contender, I don't want to have to fight 2, 3, 4 of the people in a match against the guy that's the champion. So that's the thing that bums me out. I do wish they would go back to defending the title in the EC instead of using it as a number one contendership.
And that's exactly what we said last week. We're like, the gripe that Randy Orton would hold if all of a sudden he won Elimination Chamber and then Nick Aldis is telling him, oh, well, Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu are also being added to your championship match at WrestleMania, I'd be pissed. And I'd probably RKO Nick Aldis again, and I'd probably send him another $50,000, whatever it was for the first 2 times or whatever, the 3 times that he did it. I would be pissed. So you're right. It does kind of pigeonhole them in the fact that you kind of do need it to be a singles match, because that was the whole thing. It's like, I'd be pissed. So in the end, if you really think about what was going on, Drew McIntyre is set to go film Highlander, I believe, or something right after Mania. So what was he going to do? He was going to lose it in a fatal 4-way and then disappear, I guess. But now you can have him honestly probably get his ass beat by Jacob Fatu. Now the camera footage will probably come out of Drew attacking Jacob. Jacob's going to show it to Nick Aldis or whatever. And now you're going to get Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre. Jacob Fatu absolutely destroys Drew, sends him off screen, off air for however long he's filming Highlander for. And now you have a Jacob Fatu that looks more over than ever and more badass than ever. So in the end, I guess it all works out, right?
Yeah, and I guess my question for everyone, I know people are annoyed that Drew had it for such a short time, but at the end of the day, what would we have rather have happened? Cody hold the championship up until this point and then defend it at Mania, or let him lose it and chase that championship and let someone hold the title for a little bit? Like I said, I like when the title changes hands a bunch. I'm kind of grateful that they went the route of Drew winning it for a bit and holding the championship.
Yeah, and for me, before I get to Stussy's comments, is I just wish Drew defended it a little bit more. I think he only had one title defense, and it was the Royal Rumble against Sami Zayn. Like, that to me, it once again doesn't do Drew McIntyre justice. Drew McIntyre is way too good to be doing exactly what his storyline had him do, right? They had him pretty much being afraid of Cody, trying to do everything in his power not to let Cody Rhodes have another match with him. And then when it happened, he ends up losing on SmackDown. So, yeah, awesome that Drew won the title. He got his little European like championship tour. Thought that was pretty cool. Good for him. But I wish they might have done it a little bit sooner, just so he could have at least defended the title at least one more time, because he only defended it once and he already lost. And then you got Stussy on YouTube. My brother asked me if Drew's character is that he always gets screwed. I mean, yeah, but this time he did it to himself, right? Did he not?
Yeah. I mean, maybe on season 3 will come out that they'll talk about in the creative room where, oh yeah, you know, the Drew gimmick where he just always gets screwed or screwed himself over. It's great. We're going to keep screwing him over and he's going to lose to Cody and it's going to be awesome. And then Cody will main event and Drew will just get a match at Mania.
And then can we discuss real quick on this match? Because obviously you and I sent back like the tweets or whatever saying that it is now the most disliked video on WWE's YouTube. And we were like, oh, like I was like, oh crap. Like it seems like next time Cody's out there, to me, the people are going to give it to him. Because at one point I was thinking, oh, it's kind of like Roman back in the day, man, where like they just didn't give anyone a chance to breathe with the title other than forcing Roman down your throat, right? But then it comes out that some guy paid like $250 for some bots to like do like 300,000 of those dislikes. And he like bragged about it on X. I was like, what the hell are you doing, dude? So, I mean, yeah, a lot of those dislikes on that YouTube video are flawed, but I am curious to see what happens come Friday night. I want to see if he gets cheered. I want to see if he gets booed.
I think he'll get cheered. And Stussy Six said it as well. Jey Uso still gets cheered, right? The IWC has completely changed their opinion on Jey Uso. But when you're in that arena and this song comes on, everyone's yeeting. And if it's someone from the IWC, I guarantee they're yeeting too. Everyone's enjoying his entrance. People enjoy Jey Uso when he comes out. And it's even if he stumbles over his words, even if he's not that great in the ring at times when he's too tired, people love to cheer for Jey Uso. And I think that's the same thing for Cody. When you're in that arena and it's not against John Cena, I think they're going to cheer his ass off. And Stussy on YouTube, I don't like Drew being revealed as the attacker. At that point, who are you Yeah, I agree. Who are you working? And Stussy Six said, if I went to a WWE show, I would yeet too. I think we'd all yeet. It's contagious when you're in that arena. But I would have loved in an alternate universe that Cody was the one that attacked Jacob, because then we could have gotten that full-blown heel angle from Cody, and it could have been awesome to watch them have that match at Mania, and then Cody maybe work his way back to the championship as a heel.
I mean, the theme songs are like kind of a different story, right? If you have a catchy theme song and everyone's cheering to it, like let's talk about even like Chris Jericho over with Judas in AEW. When he was a heel, like everyone would cheer, like sing his theme song, but then once he got on that mic, everyone was booing the shit out of him. So, I mean, it can happen that way where, hey, who's not gonna whoa to Kingdom, like who's not gonna do that?
I don't put my finger up when Roman comes out, it just depends.
But you're not singing Roman's theme song.
But he doesn't have a single theme song.
Exactly. So you're just putting your finger up. But every song that you can sing along to, or you're whoa, like with the yeet, you're saying yeet, like you're saying something. So I feel like it's different when you're projecting with your voice rather than just putting your finger up to acknowledge Roman Reigns.
I disagree because I think even with like MJF, people sing his like weird song, but then he just talks shit to the crowd, and that's what Jericho would do. Jericho didn't get booed until he started talking shit to the crowd. You know, every time MJF starts off a promo, people cheer him when he comes out and he starts talking. But then he turns on the crowd, calls some people fat slobs, or does what he needs to turn the crowd, and that's what Jericho also did.
But I think people like when MJF starts calling out the crowd. People pop for that. Like people, that's what people want. Yeah, like that's what people want to like come to see MJF do, is him pick out people in the front row and just absolutely decimate them verbally.
Yeah,
they love that shit. They absolutely love that shit. Stussy on YouTube, Seth being the masked man and Drew being the Fatu's attacker are worse than Adam Cole being the devil. I was there for that reveal. I was there, boots on the ground for the Adam Cole reveal, and it was brutal. But I mean, going back to Seth being the masked man, I think plans for that completely changed. Once Bronson Reed got hurt too, everything got derailed and they had to figure something out. And I think it was going to be multiple men. I mean, this is just me speaking from opinion. I don't know. But I mean, that one guy was blatantly Grayson Waller. Blatantly. Like you could see his tattoo when he was running away. It was Grayson Waller. So I don't know where they ended up pivoting, but I mean, that's definitely not the original story that we were supposed to get leading into Mania. Sure, Seth Rollins probably going to be the mastermind behind all the masked men, but I don't think it was supposed to be him right away like that.
Yeah, it's also a bummer when everything's so obvious. I think that's what Stussy's alluding to. It sucks when the attacker is like just the obvious answer. Like I miss when, you know, Rikishi was the one that drove down Stone Cold and he's like, I did it for The Rock, you know, like that's the stuff. I'm like, who would have thought Rikishi was going to run down Stone Cold Steve Austin with a car? You wouldn't. And that's the stuff that I miss. I know that, you know, they're playing these angles and these storylines, and we're alluding to what's happening, and we kind of have some insight on where it's going, but I love those swerves. And that's why, like, having a Cody, or even like if Sammy's the attacker to Jacob Fatu, which would be a little out of left field, but at least that can bring his story up a little bit, you know, turn him heel or something. I just think that, again, I agree with Stussy that if it's Drew, it's just a waste at that point. And Piggy Banks, can we all agree it's going to be a sad Mania? I don't know, man. I don't want to agree yet. I like to wait until the moment and then decide that, yeah, this Mania fucking blows.
Yeah, the lead up is definitely sad.
Yeah,
I just haven't been able to get into the road to WrestleMania quite like I have in years past. And I don't know if maybe the build up to, you know, with The Rock and Cody, that was peak road to WrestleMania. And they didn't even have like a singles match together. They were in a tag team match against each other. But that Rock and Cody, my God, that was peak road to WrestleMania. I feel like just upset right now. And I'm sure, hey, there's still plenty of time. Like Ty said, there's 4 weeks still or something like that. So we'll see what happens. And then that's another question I wanted to ask you. So do you see obviously we both agree that there has to be a heel turn, right? Whether it's Randy or Cody. Do you have it happen at WrestleMania on the biggest stage of them all, or do you have it happen before?
I want it to happen on Friday. I want this contract signing to end in like calamity.
Oh, you want to do it this quickly, huh?
Yeah, because then you can help build it better. Like Piggy Bank said, there's no road right now. The only road for any feuds at this point is CM Punk and Roman. If Roman still decides to show up, which I don't think he's at Raw tomorrow night, which kind of derails things. Punk's gonna have to carry his bullshit, like he said, to WrestleMania. But I think if we can have Randy punt Cody or Cody low blow or hit something on Randy from behind at the contract sign, at least we can build off that. The one thing that, you know, Jade kind of did on accident was kind of give us interest in Rhea and Jade's feud now because of the Twitter comments and the controversy that came with that, and all the, you know, women kind of turning on Jade in the locker room at that point. I mean, maybe they've been turned on her, but I need things to want me to watch and to get me interested. And we don't even have that many matches yet. We have all the main title matches set in stone, but that's it. And there's no real build up. And I'm not a fan of what they did with Liv and Stephanie Valkyrie. Stephanie sorry, I want to finish. Stephanie
No, you're
kind of
good.
just made Liv cry when they were speaking different languages. And to me, that's all like that's an awful way to start a build. Like, what the hell is that? I don't know.
Fair. And before we get to Stussy, I wanted to ask you, because I was just thinking about this. Obviously, we have Sami Zayn right now in this kind of a dilemma, right? You had him backstage talking to Orton, and he's like, well, Randy, that makes you a bad person. And Randy said, no, that doesn't. Like, I'm just whatever. And he's also saying the same thing to Cody.
Yeah.
So do you think Sami Zayn ends up playing into this Cody and Randy story for the next 3 or 4 weeks, where he has these backstage promos or segments with both men, and then he kind of like, in a way, like tells one of them like, you're the bad guy, and then they think about it, and all of a sudden like Sammy kind of helps turn said person?
I think more realistically is Alistair is gonna pull the heel side of Randy out, right? We already got that tease. Alistair's like, I want that 09 Randy. Alistair has the win over Randy because of Drew. And I think that, honestly, that might be the route they take. I don't think Sammy's going to be involved. I think we're going to see Sammy have these dilemmas with maybe former Bloodline members, with friends. We saw it with Jacob. We saw it with Cody. Maybe it happens with Randy. I don't know, but I think more than likely Alistair Black would be the one to turn Randy heel if anyone's turning heel.
And we did have that interaction, I believe, with Alistair and Sammy. So I was thinking, like, where does Sami Zayn go from here for WrestleMania? And I guess maybe it would be Alistair and Sammy. But then again, isn't that what Karrion Kross was doing this whole damn time? Wasn't Karrion Kross doing this to Sami Zayn this whole damn time? Am I crazy in thinking that Karrion Kross and Scarlett were telling Sami Zayn to grow a backbone and to just listen to what he needed to do, listen to these voices that Randy said, and now Alistair and Zelina are going to do the same thing, and now they're going to have the match at WrestleMania?
I've been thinking the same thing. It's
the same thing.
It's gonna be the same WrestleMania style, like, type of match. It's freaking crazy. I do want to hit the comments a little bit.
Yeah.
To backtrack, Stussy, the Vision doesn't have any numbers advantage anymore. They're being chased away by the Usos, LA Knight, Seth, and that's the thing that I spoke about last week too. Like, I'm so annoyed that like they're the butt end of this joke now. Getting LA Knight with the ambulance taking Paul Heyman around. Like, it's just like, I feel like they should have kept the gas on the foot on the pedal for the Vision and kind of keep Logan and Austin a little more vicious, a little more angry, because they're down numbers. And yeah, they can, take some licks and lose a little bit, but at least keep that violence streak and not make them the end of the butt of a joke. And then also, should they make Fatu and Jay's attack the same person? I think that'd be great. Yeah. You can have someone who's gunning for the Samoan dynasty, right? Then you can change that into the storyline about who's coming after Jacob, Jay, Jimmy, maybe freaking Roman. I think they can definitely play into that.
Yeah, I feel like they can, but I also feel like we kind of know, or whereas I mean, Drew McIntyre says he doesn't tell lies, right? Drew said he didn't attack Jacob, so maybe there is a swerve there where it wasn't Drew McIntyre that knocked Jacob Fatu's teeth out. Maybe it is someone that also attacked Jay. So, I mean, logically, yeah, it absolutely can happen. And we're all just assuming right now that it was Drew McIntyre that attacked Jacob Fatu. Maybe we will, in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, find out that it wasn't, and then we'll all be pleasantly surprised. But if it is Drew, I just don't know why he would attack Jay and make him not be in the chamber. So like that one just doesn't add up to me. So I'm hoping that it's not. And then all of a sudden Drew's still not telling lies. Drew McIntyre doesn't tell lies. I would love for that to continue to be a thing, but only time will tell. Stussy also on YouTube. I'm begging for the final boss to make an appearance, even just for one night, to add some suspense.
I agree.
I don't know if that's happening. I think we got a while until we see the final boss come back. Piggy Banks on YouTube. I hope Travis Scott is free this year. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Travis Scott versus.
I think the swerve has been. I think he's been working out so hard this whole freaking half a year because he wants to make up for Money in the Bank. That he's grinding and he's going to show up, make everyone happy, maybe hit a nice DDT on Cody or something to help Randy. Who knows?
Stussy on YouTube, the current rumor is that it'll be Sammy versus Trick. I did see that rumor. Obviously, I saw the whole thing that they're trying to possibly turn Sammy heel, Trick Williams face.
No.
I mean, yeah, that's what they're saying.
Don't make Trick face. Come on.
It's another music thing, dude. It's that entrance that everyone
Trick's got charisma, dude.
No, Trick is great. Trick is great, but there are the rumors that they're possible. That's why you see Sammy. He's like kind of tweening right now. He's lost in his own head, and then Trick is just as over as God knows what. Like he is super over.
Chamber.
So I mean, sure, would I like to see that? But I would also like to see. I don't know if Carmelo Hayes is going to do an open challenge at Mania, or if they're going to build up to a match at Mania. But I would love to see Trick versus Carmelo again for the United States Championship. Yeah, I would absolutely eat that up.
Yeah, they would tear the house down at Mania if that was the match. I'd be for it. I'm still bummed that Trick Williams wasn't the winner of the Elimination Chamber. Is it possible Cody is just another Hulk Hogan? I do not think so. The man gave up his championship for Drew for a little bit. I know it was short-lived. I think time will tell. I think he will also lose to Randy Orton, and Randy Orton will be a 15-time WWE champion, and we'll see how that goes. And then Slessie Six Trick is money. That man is money. He has the aura. He's got the charisma. He's got the entrance. He's got the moves. He's got the lemon pepper steppers. I mean, the dude is a freaking stud. And then I almost called you Trick Williams, Stussy. Stussy 6 on the YouTube, which mid-card or tag titles should be defended in a multi-person ladder match. You know that's coming. And honestly, since Dom dropped the IC title to Penta, I could see it be the Intercontinental Championship. I could see Penta defending it in a multi-person ladder match, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Penta, that would be sick if the IC title was defended in some sort of multi-person ladder match. I feel like they should have one, right? I feel like just every Mania, because there's just so many talented superstars on that roster that deserve even a little bit of spotlight on the biggest stage of them all. The multi-man matches are where you kind of feed it in. And I mean, what year was it where there was that multi-man like tag team match, like out of the blue? It was like
when the Hardys came out, or no?
No. It was like Alpha Academy. It was just so many random teams. I couldn't even tell you like off the top of my head, but it just stole the show. It was just unbelievable that everything that all these guys were doing. Stussy on YouTube, if you don't see Dom or Finn getting the IC title before Mania.
I don't.
So you don't know. Dom's cursed, bro. Dom is as cursed can be. I think I see Dom losing the AAA Mega Championship next, and then he's going to start begging Danhausen to undo it. But I would love to see Dom versus Finn. I still want that. I put out a clip from last week of me saying that I still want to get to Dom versus Finn at WrestleMania. It doesn't need a title. The buildup has been slowly there. The teases have been there for this turn, this breakup of the Judgment Day, or the removal of one person or one member. So I'm still holding out hope that we will have Dom versus Finn at WrestleMania.
Yeah. All I'm saying is this week we need to turn the volume up to fucking 1,000 for everything storyline wise on Raw and SmackDown. Maria on the YouTube with the Danhausen. Let's go.
She has heard me say Danhausen's name way too much in the past week, where I think she would prefer me to say Chelsea Green's name rather than Danhausen.
So funny. But yeah, I just hope they kind of just light everything on fire, just freaking fly forward and make us really enjoy this road to WrestleMania, this leg of it at least. Maria with the he's obsessed, and she does not want to hear Chelsea Green more than Danhausen. But yeah, I want like the stuff with the Vision. Like, let's go. I want to know what's happening. I want this feud to start happening, right? To get their match set. I want to see who's going to be who's Penta going to defend the Intercontinental Championship. I want the Judgment Day to start dismantling tomorrow night. Let's see it. Let's have the fallout happen. Let's have Finn and Dom feuding, JD in the middle, kind of, causing some chaos, and ripples towards the women in the Judgment Day too. And like I said, Friday, during that contract signing, there needs to be a heel turn. I want them to kick it up to fucking 20 right now this week.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely. I don't know if it's going to happen at the contract signing, which it would be awesome if it does. But you are so right that this road to WrestleMania, it can't be a local train anymore, right? It cannot be making all these. It needs to be express. It needs to go straight to the jugular, and it needs to just start going crazy.
We're going straight from Patchogue to New York City. No stops to Babylon or Jamaica. We're going straight to NYC.
No transfers, no nothing. Just straight there. You got Stussy Penta versus Rey Fenix for the IC title. Book it. I would absolutely love it. I think Ty also agrees. Yeah. And then you got Piggy Banks. Bring back Santino. They have the partnership.
They do.
The partnership. Santino can show up whenever the hell he wants. Ty, question for you. We are past the 30-minute mark. We haven't touched NXT. Did you want to quickly recap NXT?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we were kind of on point with everything that was going to happen. And the only thing that I kind of did not get correct was because I didn't want to vote against Jada, but I kind of knew Blake Monroe was going to win that. And what a card, dude.
Yeah, it was good.
That's what we should be seeing from the main roster leading into WrestleMania and at WrestleMania. That's like, first off, Jada, Mariah May, Blake Monroe was insane. Loved it. Loved the violence. Loved the use of all the weapons they used, and bringing out the diamonds was amazing spot for Blake Monroe. I love that match. It set the tone for the night. And then you go into Tony D and Dion Lennox just brawling. They even said it on NXT that we're going to fight in the parking lot, and they freaking did. And all of Dark State was there, and that was a great way to kind of remove the rest of Dark State from that match so they can go on and just go head-to-head with each other. I mean, what a way to start a freaking card, dude.
Yeah, no, it was exciting. And we were out with a few of our friends trying to keep the babies up, or the toddlers, should I say now, because of the time change. So we all got together and we had it on. And I was just saying how, like, you know, the guys were asking me, and I was like, listen, this Blake Monroe run so far in WWE and NXT, it's kind of fallen flat for me, right? Like, she lost the North American title because she didn't kick out, or she was not, whatever happened, but it's just been like fluky. And I just kept going back to saying, like, she was the main event in AEW. Her and Toni Storm, that rivalry that those two had was outstanding. The final act that they called it, when she finally disappeared off AEW television, the blood and violence in that match was incredible. So you know what she's capable of. And I feel like last night with Jada Parker, she's not afraid to get hardcore. And she kind of showed that last night. And I think it's a step in the right direction for Blake Monroe, who really, really needed that victory. And I was actually surprised with the Jada stat, because I was like, oh, Jada always loses these big matches. Apparently she hasn't lost a singles match since September of 2025. She's only lost like triple threat match and stuff like that. I had no idea. I was flabbergasted when I saw that pop up on the TV.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. That was a stat I did not know. But Finn Balor still hasn't won a singles match since, last year? Yeah. January. That's insane. But I loved it. I mean, they tore the house down. That was my favorite match of the night. They've both looked amazing. They both show that they can go. I would just love for both those women to get championship matches. I would love for Jada or Blake Monroe to fight JC Jean and take that championship away. I would love for, the other one to then kind of maybe be the one to throw in Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Stussy Six loved every match being less than 25 minutes. Yeah, and they handled it well. They kind of, honed in on their spots where they didn't, slop around, and they just got right to action. And it was great, especially the way they did Dion Lennox and Tony D'Angelo. Like, it was just full nonstop action. It was from the get-go, and you didn't feel like, there was any wasted time. It was just one thing to the next, and it was so much fun. And Stussy Six said, I believe both of Pin's last two wins were against Dragon Lee. Both are like a year apart too. Yeah, that was correct.
And then we go ahead. Yeah, then we found out that it was not clean. It was with the help of JD McDonough. So Finn Balor, or Pin Balor, as you guys call him, has not had a singles clean victory in
Who knows when.
well over a year.
Yeah.
And then what'd you think about Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice, and then Izzy Damon, Tatum Paxley? Like, the women tore the show down. It was incredible. It was incredible.
I haven't seen Kalani and Lola yet, but Tatum and Izzy was a masterpiece, a nice story. I loved how the calling got involved. I loved the finish, and their chemistry is amazing. And unfortunately, I think they need to kind of like now just move on from their feud. I think if they continue whatever they're doing now, it would just kind of diminish how that match ended and what they did with their story. So I'm hoping Izzy and Tatum go their separate ways. But like we said on Wednesday, Tatum Paxley, it was a full circle moment for her to win this championship. And that's what we were hoping for, and that's what it was. And now she can defend that championship for some time. She had a short reign as NXT Women's Champion, but now she can show that she's championship material. She can run with this championship and defend it as she can. And her gimmick is just awesome. I love her finisher move. I love her gimmick. I think she has a lot of potential. So I'm excited to see what Tatum Paxley does as the North American champion.
Yeah, I think the opportunities for Tatum are endless. But like you said, Izzy and Tatum have to be done now. It's one of those moments where these two just have to be done. And then last but not least, what'd you think of the main event? What'd you think of your boy Ethan Page staring at that NXT championship?
Oh, he wants it, baby. I love that he threw the title past, like over the top, threw it past Ricky Saints. Like, Ricky was right there. He's like, whoops. There you go. There you go, Joe Hendry. I love that the way it ended too was that even though Ethan blatantly just tossed that championship to Joe Hendry, that he still helped Ricky out, and Ricky was still using him as a crutch and not that mad at him. But I hope we see Ethan and Ricky kind of butt heads a little bit on Tuesday. And honestly, dude, stand deliver Ethan Page, Joe Hendry. Book it. Let it happen. And I love you, Joe, but I want an all ego NXT champion come WrestleMania and this WrestleMania season.
Yeah, I love the finish too, because I do believe we are going to get some digression between Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. But Body Slam reported that WWE is extremely happy with Ethan Page and how since he's joined WWE, they've been extremely pleased with him. How could you not be, by the way?
Yeah,
it's just silly. But I think he's going to get one more main NXT championship opportunity. And then I think it's time for him to go up to Raw or SmackDown. So in my opinion, with what, has been reported, I think you're right. I think we get stand and deliver. Maybe it's a triple threat. Maybe you got Joe Hendry versus Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. And then Ethan doesn't even take the pin. So Ethan still looks strong. And then you send Ethan up. Maybe he's appearing on Monday Night Raw the next night, or, the Raw after Mania. And then you have Stussy on YouTube. Remember the storyline from WWE 12 where Sheamus won all the belts? They should do that with Ethan Page. I'm telling you, I think Stussy is actually Ty. It's Ty's burner account, and Ty just secretly is just typing all these messages into the comments because you two and your thoughts just completely align 24/7. It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird. Very well.
It's kind of weird. But with that said, we are at the 40-minute mark. Thank you all for joining us on this Sunday night on this quick count. The quick counts are becoming a little bit longer, but I'm okay with it. I know Ty is definitely okay with that as well. The count is just, it's the referee stalling at the top for that 3 now. But thank you all for joining us. SmackDown was great. NXT was great. We are officially on that road. Well, we've been on that road to WrestleMania. We're hoping that road really picks up some steam within, the next week, because hell, it kind of needs to. Top left corner, you have the QR code. It brings you to prowrestlingtees.com. It brings you to the official merch of the 10 Count podcast and the Quick Count. Go get your official merch there. We would love that. Thank you. And then obviously go follow Body Slam at Body Slam Net on all socials. Go subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon. $5 a month gets you the breaking news exclusive news and more. Stussy saying later. And Piggy Banks once again, there is no road. Hey, the road might not be paved, but it might be a little bumpy. But wherever there's grass or there's solid ground, there's somehow a road. So I'm hoping that road is a little bumpy right now, and all of a sudden it turns into a smooth expressway. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Go give us a follow at the 10 Count Pod on all socials, especially YouTube, so you can subscribe. You won't miss an episode. Give us likes, give us thumbs up on all the shorts. Give us a little comment. It helps the algorithm out a lot. Piggy Banks again, roads can lead to nowhere. Well, true. That is also true. And then go follow go follow Ty on X at TLP_maximum. I am at JStar02 on X. Thank you all. Enjoy your week. We will be back here Wednesday night. We will discuss some Monday Night Raw, and hopefully this road to nowhere picks up a little steam, and all of a sudden the lights become a little clearer and we can see at least wrestle. We're not on the road to WrestleMania, but we're on the road to wrestle right now. Thank you all so much. We will see you then. It is Ty. It is J-Star. And until then, we are out.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh,